This is Helene, a project manager who spent the last couple of weeks working with the stakeholders to define all the requirements, design, and planning each step on how to develop a new website for a big retail company. Once this step is completed, it's time now to present the project to the development team composed of 3 developers: Garcia, Megan, and Matt. So Helene explained to them the detailed planning, laying out every feature and function the website needed. After months of design, coding and testing without no direct contact with the customers, they were finally ready to launch the website in production. Once the website was live, things didn't go as planned. The website had numerous bugs, and some features were no longer relevant to the market. The team had spent so much time in the initial stages that the business environment had changed. On the other side, stakeholders were unhappy too. They had waited months to see the product, and now it wasn't meeting their expectations. After a bit of thinking, Helene knew that the problem was with the way they had managed the project using a waterfall methodology, and there had to be a better way to be more flexible and to be more involved with the stakeholders and customers all along the project to get the best results. While searching on her computer, she stumbled upon Agility and was intrigued by its promise of delivering value faster and adapting to changes. So her company brought in an Agile coach to present to them Agility through one of the Agile frameworks that fits their needs very well: Scrum framework. So, what is Scrum? Scrum is a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, and organizations generate value through adaptive solutions for complex problems. The fundamental unit of Scrum is a small team of people, a Scrum team. The Scrum team consists of one product owner who is accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. Developers or development team are the people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint. And one Scrum Master who is accountable for establishing Scrum by helping everyone understand Scrum theory and practice, both within the Scrum team and the organization. Successful use of Scrum depends on people becoming more proficient in living 5 Scrum values: commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. Another important concept in Scrum is Scrum's artifacts, which represent work or value. They are designed to maximize transparency of key information. Each artifact contains a commitment to ensure that progress can be measured. The first one is product backlog, an ordered list of what is needed to improve the product. It's not a final list, it's refined and improved all along the project, with a product goal as a commitment, which describes a future state of the product which can serve as a target for the Scrum team to plan against. The second one is the increment. An increment is a concrete stepping stone toward the product goal. Each increment is additive to all prior increments and thoroughly verified, ensuring that all increments work together, with the definition of done as a commitment, which is a formal description of the state of the increment when it meets the quality measures required for the product. So, the moment a product backlog item meets the definition of done, an increment is born. The last one is sprint backlog. The sprint backlog is composed of the sprint goal as a commitment. Why we have to do this? A set of product backlog items selected for the sprint, what we have to do to achieve this goal, and an actionable plan for delivering the increment, how to do it. Now, let's see what sprint is in detail and live together all the events of sprint. So, sprints or iteration are the heartbeat of Scrum, where ideas are turned into value. The sprint is a fixed length event of 1 month or less to create consistency and enable predictability by ensuring inspection and adaptation. During the sprint, all the team members do all the work necessary to achieve the sprint goal and make progress toward the product goal by adapting to change and continuously improving. A new sprint starts immediately after the conclusion of the previous one. The sprint is initiated by the sprint planning event. By laying out the work to be performed for the sprint, this resulting plan is created by the collaborative work of the entire Scrum team. So who attends the sprint planning? The product owner ensures that the developers and the Scrum Master are prepared to discuss the most important product backlog items and how they map the product goal. They may also invite other people like stakeholders to provide advice. Why is this sprint valuable? The product owner discusses how the product could increase its value during the sprint. So the whole team defines a sprint goal that must be met by the end of the sprint. What can be done this sprint? Through discussion with the product owner, the developers select items from the product backlog to include in the current sprint. Each item or user story has story point. A story point is an abstract measure to represent the complexity of implementing a user story which is sized by the developers. The Scrum team might refine these items during this process, which increases understanding and confidence. Selecting how much can be completed within a sprint may be challenging. However, the more the developers know about their past performance, their upcoming capacity, and their definition of done, the more confident they will be in their sprint forecasts. How will the chosen work get done? For each selected product backlog item, the developers plan the work necessary to create an increment that meets the definition of done. This is often done by decomposing product backlog items into smaller work items of 1 day or less. It's only up to developers and no one else tells them how to turn a product backlog items into increments of value. Sprint planning is time-boxed to a maximum of 8 hours for a 1-month sprint. Once the sprint planning is over, the development team focuses on completing the tasks they committed to during the sprint planning, selected in the sprint backlog. All along the sprint, the developers have a daily meeting of 15 minutes to inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. Even the product owner or Scrum Master could participate as developers if they are actively working on items in the sprint backlog. Among the techniques used to have an effective daily Scrum is that each developer answers the 3 questions: what I did yesterday, what I'll do today, and what problem I have. And if anyone in the team has a problem, the team will do an actionable plan to help him and remove this impediment. This creates focus and improves self-management. Once an item or a user story in the sprint backlog is done, it's ready to be released and delivered to production. While the team continues to progress toward the sprint goal, there are other best practices. Workshops like product backlog refinement to make user stories more concise and clear. Innovation and sharing between the team members, for example, using peer programming, and other activities that help the team progress toward the sprint goal. When the final day of the sprint is done, it's time now for the sprint review. The sprint review is the second to last event of the sprint and is time-boxed to a maximum of 4 hours for 1-month sprint. The purpose of the sprint review is to inspect the outcome of the sprint and determine future adaptation with transparency and collaboration. Scrum team presents the result of their work to key stakeholders who can ask questions, suggest changes, and offer insights. Stakeholders witness tangible progress and gain better understanding of the product direction. The product owner verifies if the work aligns with the acceptance criteria and accepts the completed items. But the sprint review isn't just about showcasing, it's also about opportunity for reflection on performance and giving feedback to identify areas for improvement. Once the sprint review concludes, stakeholders leave with a clearer picture of progress while the team gains valuable insights on what to do next to get the best results. Right after the sprint review, generally in the same day, comes the sprint retrospective, a vital event in the Scrum framework that promotes learning, growth, and continuous improvement. It's the final event of each iteration, typically lasting 3 hours or less. The Scrum team inspects how the last sprint went with regards to individuals, interactions, processes, tools, and their definition of done, examining what went well and what could be improved. The Scrum team openly share their observations, experiences, and challenges they encountered during the iteration. This event is all about openness and transparency. To organize the event, the Scrum team often uses the Start-Stop-Continue framework. For the start section, they discuss what new practices or approaches they should begin. For example, doing more tests before releasing. For the stop section, they identify practices or behaviors that should be discontinued or improved, like having a backlog item without clear description. And for the things to keep, they celebrate and acknowledge what's working well and should be maintained. It's a moment of recognition, so don't hesitate to thank the Scrum team members for their efforts. The team prioritizes these action items based on their impact and feasibility, and the most impactful elements are addressed as soon as possible. They may even be added to the sprint backlog for the next sprint and assigned to team members. Once the iteration retrospective concludes, the sprint is officially over, and the team leaves with a clear plan for improvement, and they are ready for the next sprint, which starts immediately. Now we are coming to the end of the video. I hope you had a better understanding of the Scrum framework, and remember, this is just an overview, and practice makes perfect. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any topic in mind you want me to talk about, feel free to write it in the comment section below. See you soon.